Can everyone please step back some? There are people trying to enter the room. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Let me say to everyone who is now assembled, you honor me with your presence today.
All right. Yeah.
I'm humbled and I'm proud to stand before you to declare that I'm well on my way to become the next congressman from the 9th Congressional District.
All right! That's good, that's good.
There are people in this room who have known me since I was a child. I have classmates who are here who elected me to be their leader when we were in junior high school. Classmates who elected me to be their leader when we were in high school. I have college classmates who are here who elected me to be their leader when I was in college. I have colleagues who are here who elected me to be their leader when I was in law school. I have colleagues in the room today who elected me to be their president when I started practicing law. And I have friends in this room who have seen me grow to be the man that those who prayed for me, and two of them just came in the room, who prayed for me to become. I'm grateful.
Give him a chair.
I want y'all to know that, as Pastor Norman, my childhood friend, has said, that this is not a decision that has been made without a lot of prayer, without a lot of preparation, without a lot of support from a lot of people. As a child of this community, and I hope my mom gets here shortly. She's a dialysis patient and she was hooked up to the machine, but she should be here hopefully in a little bit. As a child who grew up poor in the 9th Congressional District. That's right. Okay. A child who remembers what it was like to grow up on welfare and to wait on free turkeys to be delivered at Thanksgiving.
That's all right. That's all right.
A child who stood in the doorway waiting on trucks to deliver free baskets of food to poor people in the neighborhood. I was blessed to be able to go away to Howard University. There are teachers in this room who taught me at Carver High School, and as Palmer Mosley mentioned, taught me to be a man of character. Told me to go away and get the best education that I could and to come back home and serve our community. They cared so much for me and saw so much value in me that they put their own money together and put me on a Greyhound bus.
All right.
Sent me to Howard University sight unseen. 4 years later, I graduated the most outstanding student.
All right. Yeah.
Because they prayed for me. That's right. And every day of my life, I live it to honor them and to be that young man that they prayed that I would be. To represent our community as best as anyone can. That's right. I couldn't wait to get out of law school in 1990 and come back home to Memphis. To roll up my sleeve and to start serving this community, doing exactly what they told me to do. Because I was grateful. When you come from where I come from and you have the wonderful blessing of God to go on to Vanderbilt Law School and to come back to Memphis and to become the first partner, to join the Birch Porter and Johnson law firm and to do all the great things that I've done as a professional in this community, to win the support and the support of all those who labor out in our community. You must be grateful for that. And you have to understand, as I do, that only God could have lifted this poor kid out of the hood. raise him to the point where he is today.
Say that, say that, say that.
And so when people say to me, Ricky, why is it that you are willing to give up a successful law practice, take a pay cut, and go to Washington to serve your community?
We need.
And my kids don't understand. Daddy, why are you going to take a pay cut? And I say to them, there's some things you can only understand by and by.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's some things that are more important than making money. When I look at the condition of our community and watching us get poor and poor and poor.
Yes. Say that.
Many of our communities are literally dying on the vine.
Yes, yeah.
And I said to myself, there's more that you have to offer.
Yeah.
For all that you've been given. For all that you've been given. More is required of you. That's why I'm running to be the next congressman from the 9th Congressional District. I'm not on some personal ego trip for Ricky Wilkins. I'm running to be the congressman because I want to lift up a community where it belongs.
Yeah.
I'm running to be a congressman that's not going to pander to our community. It's not going to spread around crumbs and make folks feel like everything is all right. Our kids are dying in the street, everything ain't all right.
Come on, sir, come on.
When we stand in a community where we're the majority in the community and we get less than 1% of the contracts that are going down in this community every year, everything ain't all right.
Come on, sir, come on.
And there are those for whom the status quo works, and it works well for them. And I understand that. They don't want anything to change. That's why the media in here right now, as they should be. I understand that, but that's okay because you're going to be my media. You're going to let folks know that it's time for change. It's time for change.
Come on.
Thank God we don't have to work. We don't have to rely solely on 3, 5, and 13 to get the word out.
Come on, come on.
I see you with your cameras. I know some of y'all are posting it on YouTube as I speak. When you grow up poor like I did, you know how to make a way out of nowhere. So I'm just happy to have y'all here with me today. I want y'all to know that I love this community. Ever since the day I got back home to Memphis, I've been doing everything in my power to be a friend, to be a mentor to a lot of the young lawyers who are here in the room. They know that whenever they've called upon me, I've answered their call. Many causes I've supported, going deep in my pocket to provide scholarships to young kids and to do all that's necessary to support nonprofits. Not out of money that somebody gave me, but out of money that I earned out of my own pocket, because I am simply a kid that's grateful and feel that there's nothing that I can do to repay this awesome debt that I think I owe. That's why I'm willing to take this sacrifice to stand up for this community, to stand your ground, to make sure that this community rises above where it is and moves on to a greater place and a greater plane where I know it can be. Those of you who are in this room today who grew up here, you know we've been waiting a long time for Memphis to break out of the shade. We go to bed praying about at what point is Memphis going to become this great place that we know it can become? When is it going to be as good for the rest of us as it is for a few of us? I'm suggesting to you that leadership has a lot to do with the tone that's set in a community. Leadership sets the tone, establishes the priorities. When you look at neighborhoods that are dying, that are declining, it's because leadership has decided those neighborhoods aren't important.
Say that, Rick.
When you look at neighborhoods that are thriving and growing and prospering, it's because leadership has decided that's where we ought to be making our investment. I'm just saying that there's got to be balance in how we do it.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And because I understand that, and because I am unbought, and because I'm going to be unbossed, I will stand up and make sure there's fairness and equity in the way we dispose of and dispense resources in our community. So I'm saying to you today, it is time out for status quo.
Yeah, yes.
Come on now.
Trickle down never gets down to where the most vulnerable are.
Come on, say it, Rick, say it.
I first heard about the trickle down theory when I was in high school at Carver. And 30-some years later,
My Lord.
still not feeling the trickle down.
Say that.
We got to change the paradigm.
Yeah.
And it takes a strong leader who's independent, who's fair, who loves everybody, who wants to do right by everybody.
Yeah.
And let me just say something for a minute. On the day that I made the announcement that I was running for Congress, my opponent mentioned that this campaign was going to be dirty and filthy.
That's what he said.
And he's following through on the promise that he made.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that's bringing dirt and filth into this campaign.
Say that, Rick, say that.
Print that, Jackson.
We're trying to raise issues that are important to this community. Under my opponent's watch, this community has become #1 in poverty. Large metropolitan cities in America. #1 in poverty. It has to now become #1 in priority. When we use the power and the resources that are available at the federal level, working with those who are local to address this issue. As your congressman, I won't hide behind the fact that when tough issues surface, I come to you and say I can't get involved in that because that's a local issue. When the people are hurting and when the people are in pain, and you're supposed to be a leader of the people.
That's right.
Leaders lead, and they should step forward.
Yes.
When you elect me to be your congressman, when you come to me and tell me that you're in pain, I'm going to respond to you and try to provide relief to that pain. Not going to hide behind the fact that it's local. Because we know that all politics is local. And if you're in pain, you just want relief. And I'm telling you that you can expect a new kind of leader in Ricky Wilkins.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to be a leader that's going to be a political bully to try to threaten you when you don't support me. And to some Cohen, if there are some Cohen operatives in the room today, let me just say to you, welcome. I look forward to being your congressman too. I can assure you that if you elect me to be your congressman, there won't come a day in Washington that you'll call me and I won't answer.
Right.
There won't be a day in Memphis that I won't be available to lock arms with you, to fight the good fight for what we have to do to move our community forward. I don't intend to spend a lot of time doing a lot of international boondoggle travel that do nothing to improve the condition of the people that live in the 9th Congressional District.
Say that.
I've not asked special interest groups for any money to help me fund this campaign.
All right.
The committee to elect Ricky Wilkins is comprised of folks like you who stand in this room, who live in this community, who care about what's going on in this community. My opponent, if you check his record, you don't have to take it from me, just go to opensecrets.com. Opensecrets.com. It'll show you who his top financial contributors are.
Oh, yeah.
Who they are year after year after year. Most of them don't live in Memphis. Never set a foot in Memphis. Probably don't give a darn about what goes on in Memphis. And so you have to ask yourself, when he's in Washington, for whom is he really working?
Yeah, yeah.
For whom is he really working?
Yes, sir.
If you send me to Washington, there won't be any doubt about it.
All right, all right.
Everything that I do, every vote that I take, every committee assignment that I get involved in will be done with the purpose of what is in it for Memphis.
Yeah, yeah.
What can we do to help lift up Memphis? That's who I am, and that's what I'm about. That's the kind of man that you're going to send to Washington come August the 7th.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
So I want to ask you for your prayers. And before I close, let me say a word about our president. And that's why we put his picture up in the window. It doesn't bother me that President Obama apparently has endorsed Steve Cohen. That doesn't bother me.
Ricky Wilkins.
He's my president too.
Amen. Amen.
And I'm looking forward to working with him. So what I'm going to say to President Barack Obama and all those who are listening and all those who may be watching, if you like Steve Cohen, you're going to love him. Now let me
Take your time.
let me wrap this up a little bit.
All right.
I just want y'all to know this comes from my heart.
Yeah, yeah.
Come from all to receive.
That's right.
Been preparing for this for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Been praying about this for a long time. A lot of people in this room knew me when I had a Jerry curl. A lot of people in this room knew me when I wore blue jeans and didn't have nobody's name on the back. So what a mighty God we serve. Let me take some time to honor and to say hello, and I'll make some final comments in a second, but there are a number of candidates who are here in the room today who seem fit to come out and participate in this grand opening of mine, and I thank them. I know that their schedules are busy. They're bouncing all over the city just like I am, and I was out this morning, we'll be out this afternoon. I mean, it truly, truly is a whirlwind of activity when you're running and you're running hard and you want to reach out and touch and teach as many people as you possibly can. You know, this campaign for me is all about reaching and teaching. There's much that we have to do in terms of teaching and preparing folks to be lifted up where they belong. And as I tell folks all the time, when you grow up like I did, and you grew up in the pain of being in poverty, and then you get transformed to a position that shows promise and potential. You can talk to folks about being on both sides of that ledger and everywhere in between. Not based on something that you read in a book, but a life experience. And that's what we're doing when we're out and about in this community. We are reaching folks and teaching folks, reaching them where they are. I'm going to be a congressman that's not going to be afraid to go wherever our people are. Wherever folks in our community is in pain, I'll be there. Because I'm not afraid. I've been along that continuum. And I know how to inspire and motivate folks to move up from where they are on to a better place. This congressional seat is more than just a vote in Washington. It is a platform and a mouthpiece that can be utilized to inspire and motivate